Okay, y'all. So let's talk about it. Beyond the Gates. Okay, episode where we at 12, 12, 13 and 14. Okay, so in these episodes, so let's get the rundown on it. So Martin and Smitty is talking about, Smitty going back to work. They get the kids in on a conversation. They got two twin teenagers or whatever. So the teenagers was like, it's cool, let dad go back to work. We cool with it or whatever. Just like take aspiring to be a politician. He was talking to Martin, let dad go back to bed and reporting, we good or whatever the case may be. So the kids is like, voting for Smitty to go back to work or whatever and be this reporter. But Martin don't like this shit at all. So then we got Eva. Eva is getting more close to Ted. Okay, so as she's being Nicole's assistant, she's like doing more run-ins with Ted and stuff. And she even had like this little vision or this little dream or whatever, because she envisioned like Ted accepting her as his daughter and, telling Ted at the right time that she is the daughter. So she kind of like slowly but surely, it seemed like she wanted back out of Leslie's plan, okay, on exposing them in front of everybody. So Leslie plans on exposing everybody at Nicole's award ceremony. But Eva is having like second thoughts about it, okay, because she's afraid of how Ted is going to look at her based off of how the information is being exposed. But Eva did manage to get some type of DNA from Ted and to give it to Leslie so that Leslie can get it tested to see if Eva is really Ted's daughter. So Eva, okay, Ted, not Ted, fucking Leslie, crazy ass, okay? She ends up getting a fucking job at the event at the award center where Nicole is about to get her award or whatever. And, she doing slick ass shit, like coming up to the table, talking to Nicole and shit while Ted's sitting right there and stuff like that. I'm like, girl, like she really want to expose her. So Eva is getting kind of frustrated because she don't want her mother to do it at the event for Nicole. She really likes Nicole. Like, she's actually like starting to love her father, even though he don't really know her. And she's like falling in love with the family, and she really likes Nicole. Like, she don't want to like hurt Nicole. So she's like, why we gotta do this now? Like, can't we just wait for another time or wait for the DNA test to come back? Why are you here now wanting to expose everything? So Eva ends up getting fucking, her name is Shari at the event. But Eva ends up getting Leslie, okay, kicked out of the motherfucking event by her boss. So she gets the boss to kick her out and shit so she don't ruin nothing. Okay. All of Nicole's family came up and said like nice things about her, gave her a nice speech and everything. Kat wasn't there. She was away on a business trip. Whilst I know she would have had something to say because, honey, she do not like fucking Eva. And Eva was wearing her outfit at the damn party, okay? She would have been reading Eva down for filth for wearing her shit, okay? Good thing Eva probably wasn't. Oh, she was in one picture, so she might see that shit. But a good thing she wasn't in a lot of the pictures or whatever. She probably would have been mad that she was wearing her clothes. But so another thing that happened was Ashley's husband, oh not her husband, her boyfriend, okay, Greg ended up getting into an accident on the job. So he's a firefighter, and he got into a fire trying to save a cat, and the ceiling had fell on him. So he's in the hospital right now. But he's okay. He just had a concussion or some shit like that. So he's going to be fine. So then we get to Doug and Vanessa. So Doug is the surgeon who works at the hospital, who's the gambler. Okay. And Vanessa is the one who sows the homeowners. Okay. So Vanessa is sleeping around with some guy because Doug is not giving her any attention. Okay. So her and Doug finally is able to have like a little date or whatever the case may be and spend some time together, but then that's cut short because he get called to the casino. Okay, but Vanessa got this little side piece who think that, he trying to like wife Vanessa, but Vanessa is already married to Doug, and Vanessa's like, well, I'm just playing around. Like, I'm not looking for nothing serious. I'm not into all that. I'm just, playing around right now. So that's where she at with it. But the other guy, I kind of feel like he going to like try to expose her relationship, to Doug in some type of way, but we'll see how that go. And then on top of that, Doug owes a lot of money to the guy who owns the casino. Okay. This guy is fronting Doug a whole bunch of money, but he's using Doug's best friend to keep Doug in the game. Okay, coming to the casino and spending all his money because he has an ulterior motive. Okay, what he said is that he's using Doug for another reason, and I kind of feel like it's to get to Vanessa's money. Okay, Vanessa has a lot of money. She comes from a rich family. Doug had money too, but I feel like he trying to get to Vanessa money. Okay, in some kind of way, but he didn't really expose like what it was. But I kind of feel like that's what it is. And then I had seen like some episodes already. So I think that that's where it's leading to because he tried to sneak his way into their life in some type of way, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But Doug don't know that his best friend don't really want to drag Doug into this. He keep on telling Doug like, well, you don't want to go to him. The guy's like a loan shark and he owned a casino. So he like, you don't want to go to him. You don't want to ask my boss for no money and this and that. Like his Doug's friend is trying to like stop him from spending all his money and gambling and stuff. And he telling him like, why don't you go to Vanessa, ask Vanessa for the money. You know her family got money and stuff like that. But he ended up getting it from the guy who owned the casino, who's the loan shark or whatever, and he owned that casino. So Doug is like in debt to this man, and the man is like, he's using Doug, and he wants Doug to go into debt. And I'm trying to see what else went on. Oh, so Bill and Haley is on their honeymoon or whatever the case may be, and Danny is watching them while they on their honeymoon, okay, and getting all upset. Like, she fucking breaking her own phone, breaking her own tablet, looking at the news and shit. Like, girl, it ain't that damn serious when you fucking up your own shit, okay? Like, if you gonna get upset, fuck up somebody else's shit or something like that or something that's not yours. She threw her whole phone in the water, throw her tablet up against the wall every time she see news about them. I'm like, ain't nobody in the world gonna make me that mad where I'm breaking my own stuff. Okay, period. But Nicole gets her little award for being like the best doctor or whatever the case may be. It was a really nice scene or whatever the case. It was really cute. So all the family was good. Everybody was on one accord. Oh, and then Vernon had a conversation with Martin because Vernon found out that Martin is trying to become the president. So he's already a congressman, and his next goal is to become the president. But Vernon tells Martin, like, look, you don't want to go and become the president because as soon as you try to become this president, they're going to dig more deeper into your past. And it's something that Martin had did that they are trying to bury. This is the reason why they was on board with going to the wedding when none of the family members wanted to, and it was because Bill had threatened him because he had dirt on Martin. So that dirt is going to come to the light some kind of way. I don't know what it is or what it have to do with, but yeah, Martin better be careful, and that's what Vernon was telling him. So yeah, if y'all seen the episode, let's talk about it. Drop it in the comments, okay?